welcome back. Another day, another vlog. Bit different today, aren't we? We're outside. I thought I'd show you the new beast, the new Chariot. So haven't had a car for 5 years. Didn't really need one being in the mines, but needed something. Moved to Queensland. I needed something to get around with, and this is her, the V-Dub Touareg. Now, the best part about this is, yeah, it's an old car. It's a 2004, but this right here, V10 TDI. So that's turbo diesel V10. Now it's limited engines. They did an R5 version of these, and it's a beast of an engine. Big diesel. I think 230 kilowatts for power, but the killer is 750 newton meters of torque in this. So when you're going uphill, I can cruise control everywhere. So hits a hill, no dramas, just pulls away from everything. Just an absolute bundle of grunt. So if I end up, this is going to be sort of a little bit of a project car for the channel as well. So not only will we be traveling in this sucker, but we're also going to be doing some upgrades to it. It was a luxury car when it came out. It was a $140,000 car when it came out. It's got spotties down here, so they all work. A few bits and pieces that don't work. It's due for a service, getting service next week, so I can get a full picture of exactly what I need to do with it. It's not 100%, but 14 grand for a $140,000 car with everything still working. Pretty darn cool. Full leather seats, jack seat over there. It's got all the bells and whistles. Got me mouse, little magnetic there for the phone. Stubby cooler, Team Stubby cooler, my Team Yeti 34 media. That's got to go. That's still a CD player, so that's pretty terrible. I'm looking at, that's probably going to be the first video we do for the upgrade on this as well. That's going to go to something that has Apple CarPlay in it. I've got brand new carpets coming from, we'll talk about that when they come. That'll be a video because I'll do the install on them. It's still in pretty good nick. Full electric, I said full leather, dual zone air cons. Got everything you could imagine. Pretty good nick for 14 grand. I think I've done pretty well. I've already done like 3,000 kilometers in it, driving backwards and forwards, doing all the house stuff. So it's pretty good. Got my gear in the back, the spare. That's one of the other issues we have to do with this. They don't have a spare wheel, so I've got to carry that there. There are a few businesses that do spare wheel carriers that bolt straight on. Waterproof jacket, and there's all my cleaning gear and breakdown stuff in that waterproof tub, so that's pretty cool. But I hope that's locked. But roof racks on it. But I want to put a proper rack on it so I can store my camera gear and other stuff, or if I have to, I might be able to put the tyre up there. So I'm definitely looking at doing a rack. Sunroof, all the thing. I've got spare tyres, spare bits and pieces. It's got scratches and no major dents, just a few scratches here and there. It's enough major. I don't know, paintwork looks pretty good. I've done a big cleanup. It is dirty at the moment, my apologies. As I said, I've done 3,000 K since I bought this and it hasn't missed a beat so far. But yeah, there's a bit to do on that. But I thought, yeah, well, it's a beautiful day. We might come outside. Look at those clouds in the sky. Out to the shed and do our daily vlog. Rightio. How's that for a background? You can't beat that. Okay, bear with us. We'll slip straight over to main video. Okay, here we go. Just put the switch bar down now when I'm moving. We've seen the car. I hope you do like that. I can't wait to do some fun things with the Touareg. It's going to be pretty cool. A lot of challenges there for me. A lot of electrics to play around with. Some funky stuff. But yeah, it should be pretty darn cool. Gorgeous day here in Queensland. Sun's out for a change. It's rained all weekend. It's a public holiday here today. But the sun's out. The clouds are out. Flowers are blooming. Pretty cool. I thought it get you out of the office, something different. Now, big news, just come back from the Barra Classic where I use my Shimano Calcutta DC 2019. the bomb of reels. I love it. I switch between that and the Daiwa Ryoga, the two top echelon ones from both big manufacturers. Caught fish on, caught barra on both of them. I still love my DC Calcutta without a doubt in 2019. It's amazing. 2019, it's now 2021. Shimano Australia still does not sell it in Australia. No idea why. Absolutely stupidest decision. They would sell these reels no problems at all. And I know I've said that before. I don't understand it. It's not even worth worrying about. I have asked them and they have no interest in selling it here. Apparently the market's not big enough. It's one of the biggest fishing markets I know of. I guess America's more, but there's more people. But the ratio has to be huge in Australia, how many people fish compared to what it is in the States. I'm sure we'd have a bigger percentage of people that actually fish for the population, but apparently it's not enough to bring the best gear to Australia. We only get the cheap stuff that they can mark up to the same price as the best stuff, which is pretty darn silly. Everyone has internet, everyone shops online. Somehow Shimano Australia doesn't think that people aren't going to go and buy it online. I was lucky enough to get that 2019 DC, Calcutta DC from plat.co.japan. One of the first ones to get it out of the country. I pre-ordered it, got it, and I had the first video up to unbox it on YouTube. I was pretty stoked with that. It's gone really well. It's like 11,000 views. Thank you to all those that have watched it. That was pretty cool and fun, and I love that reel. Well, Shimano has released a Calcutta, a new Calcutta in the 100 and 200s. They've done new models in the 300 and 400. Well, now they've got the 100 and 200 models out. So the same size as the DC that you can, in the DC model you could buy 2 years ago, and now in a base model. So it's not really a base, it just doesn't have DC. Picture all the great features of the DC, the Calcutta DC, and that model, that small package, fully rebuilt, machined, built like a brick shithouse, is now in just a standard Calcutta. So if you're not a DC person, you just want a mechanical, robust beast of a reel, this is the reel for you. You can get them in, you can pre-order them now in plat.co.japan. That's where I got my DC from. So if you do want one, I suggest, if you haven't tried one of these and you want a really good reel for either trawling or catching big fish, salt water, this is a fantastic reel. You can go to 300 to 400 if you're doing offshore stuff, but if you're inshore doing barramundi and mangrove jack, anything like that, I've got the 200 that is big enough and does a great amount of stuff. So very cool. Now it's got all the good stuff. It's got the brand new MGL spool 3 in there. So I think the DC had the MGL 2. I don't think it had the 3. I'm not 100% on that. But it's got the MGL spool 3, so that's the newest one. Standard micro module gears, infinity drive, SVS adjustable brake drive, silent tune, vibration induction, S3D smoother cast feature. Obviously it's hagne, so it's full salt water use, and I can verify that works 100%. It's got that drag clicker sound, so if you get a fish, it'll give you the noise, so you know you've got something as well. So it's got that audible there, which is pretty cool. Reduced backlash. Now it'll pull 57 to 78 centimeters of line per wind, so every wind is 57 to 78 centimeters depending on the model and ratio. 10-year warranty, 4.5 to 7 kilos of drag in this, again depending on the model. 12 plus 1 or 13 plus 1 bearings in it, so that's pretty cool. 5.6.1 or in the HG model 7.41 for your ratio, so both pretty good. I'm pretty sure mine's a 5.61, I think, or is it a 6.3? I think it's a 5.61. 220 grams. I said it's super compact. Like it definitely, like when you're holding your reel and you're about to cast, it basically the whole reel can easily fit in my hand. No drums. I don't have monster hands. I don't have tiny hands, but I don't have monster hands. But it fits in smaller. The Ryoga doesn't fit in as much. It's still compact and solid as a brick shit house, but the Calcutta is definitely smaller. They do some management there and weight shavings and they trim off everything, and then everything else is built rock solid. Basically a solid bit of aluminium. It's all really well built. Standard Shimano Calcutta. Now, line rating is 12 pound, 100 meters. 14 pound 80 meters, 20 pound 65 meters. Now I'm pretty sure I got more than that. I run a 40 pound Power Pro on mine, and I'm pretty sure it'll get more than 65 meters. I'd use it more for trawling, so I'm not real. It probably got more than what you should have on there for casting. Again, depending on what you're doing and what your usage casage is, I guess you could probably, if you're going to trawl a lot, which we do in the territory, probably best to have a little bit extra line on there when those big barra do the big runs. You're going to need as much line as possible to try and save your ass. Now, $570 Australian. That's pretty cheap. I think the DC was $700-800 when I bought mine. So that's pretty good. That's a pretty good deal. And as I said, for whatever reason, Shimano won't sell them here, and they're not going to sell these ones either. They're not on their site. They've released them everywhere else in the world, but again, for whatever reason, Shimano doesn't like bringing good stuff to Australia. We just get the cheap crap. You can get it if you get the good stuff if you want epoxy spinning, but if you want an actual real fishing reel, a bait caster, a proper reel, you can't get the good ones. I don't know why. It befuzzles me all the time with these companies. They somehow think that people don't use the internet and don't realise what you can and can't buy around the planet. So a little bit weird in that regard. So anyway, my apologies. So $570 Australian, that's if you pre-order. That's pretty darn amazing. That is a world-class, top-of-the-range reel, and $570 for a Calcutta. You will definitely be getting yourself a good deal for that one, I think. So I said, if you do want one, go to plat.co.jp. They're a fishing company in Japan. That's where I got my DC from. Really, really good, great service. Pre-orders, no problem. This is how I did mine. You'll definitely get it. They'll get it to you. It comes perfectly wrapped. All the usual great Japanese traits from their shipping. They do, and mate, they're awesome to buy from. So definitely go check that out. Amazing, amazing reel. Right, I probably said too much about that, but I'm excited. I get excited about that. It's a fantastic reel. Yeah, I might trade something else in to get one of those and just compare the DC versus the normal one. It might be cool. Let me know if you reckon I should do that. Right, Canon R3, some more rumors coming out about that. So some patents have come out, basically giving us a shot of the menu system for the new eye autofocus. So we mentioned, we've all heard about the eye autofocus. That's using your eye, so wherever you look, it basically uses that to lock focus on a subject. So if you see a bird in the sky where you're through the viewfinder, oh, there's a bird, this new feature will allow you to lock onto that bird just by looking at it without having to try and drag your cursor around to lock onto it. Pretty darn cool, high speed, if they can get it to work. Now, they've used a lot of the systems from an old EOS 3 camera, which apparently had that system in it, didn't really work, as a little bit klutzy. They've then obviously done a fair bit of work to get this right. They know if they get it wrong, they're going to get hosed nowadays, so I'm pretty sure they've gone in and spent the time and got it right. Now, the menu system allows for a couple of different things. LOS autofocus, LOS input, and LOS pointer options. So 3 different options you can turn on or off to, I guess, assist in the way that system works. So I think that'll works out pretty good. Also, I've put this a little bit of a screenshot on the thumbnail for the actual what it is, and it's basically the calibration mode. So there's going to be a calibration mode in there. So basically, you'll set it up, you'll look at certain things, and it'll track where your eye is. Then you'll look at something else, it'll track where your eye is. It'll do like a little bit of an eye calibration to suit you, that user. Obviously, if someone else uses your camera, you're going to have to recalibrate it. That'll be a little bit klutzy, I guess, but most people aren't really sharing their cameras. But I think it has the potential to be a pretty amazing feature for your wildlife and bird shooters and things that move fast, that want to be able to track quickly. As I said, if you're looking for a bird in the sky and you see one, and then you got to try and get that circle up to lock it on to track it. Autofocus is pretty good in the Canons, in the top range ones, and I'm sure the R3 is going to be pretty insane. But if you could get something there that allows you to quickly shoot there with your, just by look, it's obviously going to be quicker than your thumbs or the other tracking. I think it potentially, fingers crossed it all works, could be a bit of a game changer for the camera industry. So very, very cool. Hopefully they get that iteration right. Now, so also there's some patents for two other primes, a 135L series f1.4 and a 24mm 1.4L USM as well. So the 24 is pretty standard, it's good, but a new different back focus area on this one. And 135, there was two different options there. F1.4 is pretty wild for a 135. That's a big lens to get down to that. That's going to have some pretty wild depth. Pretty cool for portrait stuff and some also other landscape bits and pieces too, 135. That's a fairly decent lens, so pretty cool to see that coming from Canon. That R3 is going to be a bit of a beast of a camera, and I'm sure we're going to see more and more stuff coming out on that as it grows. Right, some fun stuff. Twitch, big gaming platform, streamers, gamers streaming, they make a lot of money out of Ninja. Started there. I think he's actually back there now. You can stream live. People pay to watch you game, the conversations, all sorts of different things. Well, they're in a bit of hot water, you could say. Hot tub, bikini Twitch streamers have been getting banned. The new phenomenon is seeing some, I guess, good-looking ladies in bikinis that are streamers or gamers that are streaming, getting on and having chats with their fan crowd while they're sitting in a little blow-up pool with water in their bikinis. Apparently a few of them have made faux pas and bits and pieces have fallen out of bits and pieces. So that was not good, and a few got banned that, and a few others got banned for, taking a little bit of a piss out of the rules and regs on Twitch. It is a gaming thing, a lot of kids on there. It's a little bit, I can understand why they do it. They're making a packet of money out of it. It's a business for them, but I guess there are a lot of kids on there, and I guess parents are going to get upset. So I can understand why Twitch has sort of put the hammer on them and smashed them a bit, but I thought that was a little bit funny that, imagine me doing a podcast, sitting in my board shorts in the spa, having a chat to you. I don't think I'd get the same subscriber count with the old hairy chest hanging out. I thought it was pretty cool, a bit funny, and look, people need to make money. A lot of people, this is a big business. To see that happen, I thought, I can't blame them, but you can't blame Twitch for smashing you. So there you go. Hot tub bikini Twitch streaming is a thing, and it's getting bigger and more popular, and also getting banned a lot more often too. So pretty funny. Now, big news this week. Apple, Fortnite. Last year, the big fight over Fortnite not having to pay Apple. They wanted to put their own payment system on, and everyone have to pay Apple so they could use Fortnite, and Fortnite wasn't happy, sued them, Apple sued back, everyone's suing everyone, lawyers on lawyers on lawyers on lawyers. It's just a big lawyer gangbang of just stupidity, all about greed and money, as per everything in this planet and life with us humans. Well, it's all about greed, generally, which is a bit of a shame. Well, the lawyers, it goes into court this week. Now, at the same time this week, Europe's slapped a heap of antitrust things on Apple as well, and they're looking up to $27 billion in antitrust fines in Europe. So pretty crazy, crazy stuff. Wow. Apple copping it there. They've got plenty of bucks, so I don't think they're going to be any dramas in regards to that. But they got, I think, $1 trillion in cash. But I'm sure they don't want to keep offloading $27 billion at a time for fines. They're going to have to work out a solution to this and going forward and see what they do. I'm sure they don't want to keep paying their lawyers just to go to court to keep fighting these things. I'm sure it's a little bit annoying. Rightio. Well, that's about it for another day, another vlog. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed it. More to come on the car, the new Touareg, little trusty Touareg. It's the big V10 diesel, 750 Newton meters of torque. What a car. They're pretty rare, and I'm pretty happy I got it for 14 grand. It was a bit of a bargain, and pretty stoked. It's going to be running my channel. It's going to be getting me out to those spots so I can get those beautiful photos and do those hikes in this beautiful state of Queensland. Now I'm living here. Fingers crossed we can get a house soon. That would be awesome too. So anyway, rightio, where are we going that way? That way, I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.